Kabir was from India, one of the ancestors of Rumi. Born in 1398, died in 1527. Friend, wake up. Why do you go on sleeping? The night is over. Do you want to lose a day the same way? Other women who managed to get up early have already found an elephant or a jewel. And so much was lost already while you slept. And that was so unnecessary. The one who loves you understood, but you did not. You forgot to make a place in your bed next to you. Instead, you spent your life playing. In your 20s, you did not grow because you did not know who your Lord was. Wake up. Wake up. There's no one in your bed. He left you during the long night. Kabir says, the only woman awake is the woman who has heard the flute. The only woman awake is the woman who has heard the flute. Let's just have the cello this time, shall we? It's kind of rough little one. Yeah, that kind of thing. I talk to my inner lover, and I say, why such rush? Why such rush? You know there's some sort of spirit that loves birds and the animals and the ants. Perhaps the same one who gave a radiance to you in your mother's womb. Is it logical you would be walking around entirely orphaned now? You know, going to mythology conferences? Is it logical that you would be walking around entirely orphaned now? The truth is, you turned away yourself. And you decided to go into the dark alone. And now you are tangled up in others. Look at us. And have forgotten what you once knew. And that is why everything you do has some weird failure in it. I love that line. Everything I do has some weird failure in it. Don't you think so? Everything we do, even playing the cello, has some weird failure in it. I think we'll do this one without music and then bring music in the last stanza. This is Kabir. He was a weaver, a very mouthy weaver. And he bugged a lot of people in India, and he's still bugging them. And they love him all over India. They recite him, sing him. Friend, hope for the guest while you're alive. Jump into experience while you're alive. Think and think while you're alive. What you call salvation belongs to the time before death. If you don't break your ropes while you're alive, do you think that ghosts will do it after? That's a good question. The idea that the soul will join with the ecstatic just because the body's rotten, that is all fantasy. Someone should tell that to the Pope. The idea that the soul will join with the ecstatic just because the body is rotten, that is all fantasy. What is found now is found then. And if you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in the city of death. I was going with a young poet through Chicago, and he recited differently. He said, if you make love with the divine now, no, he said, if you find nothing now, you'll simply end up with a suite in the Ramada Inn of death. If you make love with the divine now, if you make love with the divine now, in the next life, you will have the face of satisfied desire. If you make love with the divine now, in the next life, you'll have the face of satisfied desire. So plunge into the truth. Find out who the teacher is. Believe in the great sound. Believe in the great sound. Kabir says this: when the guest is being searched for, it's the intensity of the longing for the guest that does all the work. When the guest is being searched for, it's the intensity of the longing for the guest that does all the work. Then he says, look at me, and you will see a slave of that intensity.